Do you ever have deep seated thoughts, emotions, feelings, and you just need to de stress? Well, that's what I do. I listen to understand. I'm here for you. Most of the time, majority of the time, the truth is already in us.
Hi, I'm Chanaye, and this is the Idea to Empire podcast. Today, we are talking to Stacy Pringle, the thoughtful listener. She is a certified active listener. And to tell you a little bit about her, she has an expertise. She's an expert in listening. She offers a comprehensive approach that tailors to the unique needs of every person she works with by providing practical strategies and techniques to improve listening skills, alleviate stress, provide solutions, and achieve goals. Stacy Pringle, the thoughtful listener. Let's go. Hello. Hi, Stacy.
Hello. How are you doing, Chanaye?
Thank you for coming on the Idea to Empire podcast. I'm so excited that we get to have our chat. I want you to tell everyone, who are you? Why are you the thoughtful listener? How'd you get here?
Do you ever have deep seated thoughts, emotions, feelings, and you can't go to your colleagues, coworkers, if you're at work, or family and friends, and you just need to de stress? Well, that's what I do. I listen to understand. I'm here for you so that you can come to a safe, judgment free space and de stress, gain clarity, achieve focus. You have a clear path to move forward, refreshed and rejuvenated. And I believe in active listening. Active listening is something that everyone should learn to do. I think that, and I know this, it's not just think, I know this. There's a crack in our communication skills, the foundation of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's missing is, I call it thoughtful listening, but active listening. And we're not taught it. It's not our fault. We're not taught it in school. And because we're not taught it in school, it leaves us not quite as effective in communication as we should be. So here I am bringing it to the forefront. And, there's a company that's doing this, an organization that's doing this in Australia. That's where I got my training from. But not everyone knows about it. And I have to be honest with you, Chanaye, it's a gift. I've been doing this since I was young.
Yeah.
So here I am using my certification to do this work.
And not just your certification, using your gift.
Yes.
How did you know that you had the gift? What gift did you see? How did you know?
When I was young, people would come to me, family, friends, adults, as well as children. Strangers would come to me. And I know that sounds weird. Like, why would you come to a child, right? To tell your secrets, right? To declutter and de-stress. But that's why I say it's a gift, because I know it's not anything that I did because I did it at such a young age. It's something that I had, and I was always honored, always privileged that people who needed to share their secrets had a safe place to leave them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that they could come to me. I have to be honest, in my friendships, like there were times when I was like, why am I not getting equal play in this friendship? Why are, like, I have to be honest. And then I had to realize, I had to stop and realize there was a coach who said, what is your gift? Bring your gift to the marketplace. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I'm realizing, the light bulb, that moment came to me. And the gift was, oh my gosh, I've been doing this since I was a young girl. It was listening. And then I realized it was more than listening, it was active listening through a journalist I saw on the Today Show. And she told her story about how she started practicing active listening and what a value it was in her life. Therefore, it was a game changer for her. It was a game changer for the person who was able to share her frustrations with journalist and left with peace. And that's what active listening gives you. It's more than just about de-stressing. It's about feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, experiencing a peace that you didn't have before.
So tell me about the sort of the way that you move when you're working with someone. So
Mhm.
you are an active listener and I'm your client. What does this look like? How does it work?
So the first thing I like to do is there. I have free sessions. You can book a free session to feel the flow, right? To get an understanding of what I do. And the first thing I do is when a client comes to see me is just really do what I say I do. Be there to listen, to understand, not to respond, because that's not my job. I'm not there to, or my service, I like to say. I'm there to really listen to people tell me things that are really plaguing them, right? That's really,
Mm,
they're dealing with a frustration they haven't been able to talk about because it wasn't the right people, or even environment. And so when they come to me, I set a tone, hopefully just by my presence, and I'm not trying to be
yeah.
arrogant. I believe that there's this peace or this safety that comes with that time when we're in that space, and I'm there to listen. And whatever someone wants to talk about, I give them that opportunity to share with me, and I call it a share, to share.
Mhm.
And at that point in time, a good friend of mine and a client told me
Hey.
I was therapist adjacent. And at that time, really what active listening is to guide someone into their own truth. I know this to be the case, that most of the time,
Mhm.
majority of the time, the truth is already in us, right? And but we have all this stuff, all this angst and issues and frustrations that are getting in the way. And once you have time to unload, right, or de-stress, or to get that out, what happens is the truth starts to rise to the surface. And
Mm.
yes, and it's an incredible experience to behold. And I say this as the person who is watching it happen, right? Is on the other side and experiencing and seeing someone really come to that place where I just said that aha moment that happens for them, like, oh my
Sure.
goodness, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. And I really just guided them to what already was there. The answer was already there.
Mhm.
So that's what we do. And I try to give people some takeaways to really understand what's going on. And so I'll ask open ended questions. We're in a space where there's no distractions, right? Right. We remove all of that so that that I'm fully present, that person is fully present, and that we are able to really get to the heart of the matter. And with the open ended questions, when I need to, right? I'm not there to respond, but I am there to guide. And so I'll ask some questions that relate to their situation, what they're going through, so that again, the truth rises to the surface. What they
Sure.
need to experience, what they need to know, what they need to walk in their most authentic self really does take place
Yeah.
through these guided sessions.
As a person who's experienced you and being listened to, I feel like you pay attention to me through every pore of your being. My next question for you is, you know that this podcast is really towards that frustrated, overwhelmed, just needing to breathe entrepreneur and business owner. What can you offer to encourage them?
The first thing I would say is understand who you are and what you bring to the table, right? What your gifting is, and stay in your lane of gifting. That's the
Mm,
first thing. Now, as a small
mm,
entrepreneur, right, or small business owner, and or an entrepreneur getting started with a very small team, or you are a solopreneur, that's not easy to do,
mhm,
right? But be open to the fact that while you are in the process of um, running your business, right, that you understand what your likes are and your dislikes, what you're really good at and what you're not. This is very important because we solopreneurs do it. But when you can hire someone who's a contractual person or someone who's a business coach who can guide you, thank you, Shanae, uh, but in the areas that you are not particularly strong in, right? They're your, and I won't say they're weaknesses, but that is not your gifting or that's not something that you particularly care to do. That's okay. Don't
Sure.
beat yourself up about it. Give yourself grace. Understand that. Make notes and say, you know what? This is something I can give to someone else. And when it is time, or if you have, the funds and the means to do it immediately, do it. Hire the people that can do it, will do it, love to do it. If you don't, right, at the time, then make notes so that you can carry them with you. So when you get to that place where you go, these are the things I
Mhm.
don't want to do. Here's my list. This is who I need to start building for my team. These are the people I need to hire for my team because
Yeah.
I need to be the visionary of my business. I need to lead. I need to network. And therefore, the little things will, and I don't like to say this, but they will suck your time, right? And you can't be as effective as you need to be when you're doing things that pull you away from what you're supposed to be doing, which is leading the company, getting ready for the next, right? And what you're going to do with your company, and then helping others. Now, here's another thing that I believe in very much is that you reach back to help someone else. And when I say that, and the reason I bring it up when I'm talking about this very subject is when you are working in your lane in doing what you're supposed to do, and there's someone who does something, they're not where you are, but they need help, or they have a service and you guys can collaborate and work together, or you can do a contractual work, or you can hire them from your team, reach back, help someone else who's doing the same thing that you're doing, right? They may be a solopreneur, they may be an entrepreneur, and that's their field. And you are saying, hey, listen, I think you'd be great. And networking is a wonderful way to do this. This is how I met you, Shanae, and look at where we are right now. And say,
Yeah.
hey, like that's a person that I can use. Let me reach out to that person. Maybe we can help each other. We can serve each other. And
Yeah.
that's what I mean about when you get to a place where you can help someone else, or uh, and you can collaborate with someone else, do that. It's very important because it makes a difference in your business, it makes a difference in your peace, right? And how you move forward in your business.
Yeah. The what you've just said, it kind of makes me think that active listening and being willing to put out a hand to others is really you getting down to the very depths of what is it to be of service, right?
Yes.
What is it
Yes.
to be what is it to be a person who wants everybody to win?
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
exactly right, Shanae. Thank you. You're always profound anyway. But that's exactly what it is. Everyone wins. And that's what you want to build, how you want to build a company. That's how you want to build a team. That's how you want to build a business, right? Everyone wins. It's not about me, me, me. It's not about, oh, it's about everyone. And this, it is possible. Sometimes I think that, we live and work in a society that doesn't understand that it is possible that everyone can come to the table and have the piece of the pie. We
Sure.
work from a scarcity mindset instead of like everyone can win. And sometimes, and I don't like to say this about business, that to me is some of the parts about business that I don't particularly care for and want to operate in,
Yeah.
with that, like, oh, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me winning, winning, winning. No, everyone can win. Everyone can have a piece of the pie. Everyone can have a seat at the table. It is
Yeah.
possible. It is not something that is, out there, and it is not, oh, ooh, kumbaya. It's not any of that. And I know some people look at it as that and see it and say, oh, that's not realistic. No, it is realistic.
Yeah.
We don't make it a priority. And I think that that's what's very important, that we start to make that as a priority. Everyone can win, everyone can have a piece of the pie. we can do this and let go of the scarcity mindset because it's crippling.
I love that. A guest, one of the guests that I brought on, her name's Anitra.
Mhm.
She and I do similar work, but it's such an honor for her to be a part of this community that I'm building, that I've built, because she offers things in a different way, even though it has similarities. I mean, we're not competing. We're in this together. She's taught me things. I know I've taught her things. And the point is that we're just becoming better for the people that we serve, regardless of
Absolutely.
the pie that we're playing.
No, it's absolutely true. This is what I know to be true for myself and things that I've learned along the way. Everyone was created for a reason. Everyone was created for a reason. We're all here to be a solution to a problem, right? To be an answer to something's missing. And so therefore, we shouldn't be looking at other people. We should look to other people for help, right? And support and encouragement and all of those things. But what are you here to do? Because that's the question you should be asking yourself. What is your gifting? What were you created to do? How do you bring your fruit and bear your fruit and bring it to the marketplace so that everyone can who's contributing can have something of this great feast, right? This great cornucopia to choose from.
So, how do you use your gift, the gift of active listening, to bring all of these important pieces to bear? How do you incorporate those into being the best business owner that you can be?
So listen, has been a struggle. Let me put that out here first.
Sure.
So because this isn't hasn't been easy for me, and I've told you this that I've always looked at myself as a creative. I was in sales for half of my life, but even
Mm,
when I was in sales, right, in retail for half my life, it was never about making the goal. And I know I shouldn't say that, maybe because it's not popular. It was not about making the sales goal for me. It was about how is that person going to be served, right?
sure.
What did they need? How am I going to help them?
Yeah.
When I looked at them, I didn't see a dollar sign. I saw a person who was in need. They needed help, and I was there to serve them. That's how I approached them. May not be popular, but it was true. And I have to say this because I think that it's relative to the situation that I won many customer service awards because my approach was not
Mm,
about the dollar sign, but the person.
sure.
So, in that, right, I was always about being curious about people, even when I was a little girl. I wanted to know about who the person was that was standing in front of me, sitting in front of me. And so I brought that into the retail game that I was in, and I did it because I was a natural because I brought curiosity into it. I brought active listening into it. And so every time that I approached a person, I was listening to them.
Yeah.
I was actively listening to them and what they needed. And even as a salesperson, people would start to tell me things, right? They would share their life with me. They would
Yeah.
share their secrets with me, even
Yeah.
in those small instances of shopping for clothes. And that's how it happens. Active listening is incorporated in everything I do because when I come before someone, it really is about them and what they need and who are they. Now, sometimes that is a problem because I do put that first, right?
Mm,
And I forget about the other part of why I'm in business.
sure.
But yes. And so, Shanae, that's why you're
That's why I'm here, lady.
because I have to wake up and realize, right, that I'm in a business, right? So
Hmm.
therefore, active listening, yes, it's important, but also it's about I'm running a business, and so I have to remember those things too. But I honestly say I put active listening above all else. I do it because I'm curious about people. I
Yeah.
do it because I want to serve people. I do it because people matter. And I want them to know that they matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that when they show up in my sphere, in my circle, I will make sure that you're validated, heard, respected, and seen.
Yeah.
That's how I bring it to the table.
You know, what's interesting is that what I really feel like I'm hearing you say is that you're saying there is a balance.
Yes.
I need to listen to my client. I need to listen to my customer. I need to make sure that what I'm saying to them is exactly the thing that they actually want, that they said, right? Like
Yes.
almost as if that their needs are so important. However, we need to balance that with,
Yes.
I'm a business owner. I have a business
Yes.
to run. So
Yes.
I can do both. And
Yes.
it's not a or situation ever.
Yes.
I can use my gift, whatever that business that it is, I can use that gift to help the world, be a part of that service, and then also be
Yes.
a good contributor to the world.
That's right. Because I have to be honest, active listening is very much a part of who I am. I can't, it's knit in the fabric and fiber of who I am. It's a part of who makes me, defines me. The other part is being a business owner. It is important for me as a business owner that I'm able to serve other people financially, right? If someone is in need of something, that my business runs effectively so that I can have that something there, right? The money, and I'll say it, the money, the funding, that when I see someone that's in need, I can utilize that to help them. That's
Sure.
important to me as well. That's a
Yeah.
goal of mine,
Yeah.
that I want my business to succeed because, yes, I need to live, but I want to help other people.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I want to serve other people in that capacity.
Yeah,
Hmm.
kind of like what we were saying earlier. You use active listening. We should all use active listening as a vehicle to
Yes.
further our service to others, our service to
Yes.
ourselves,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely. Yes. And you practice active listening beautifully as well, Shanae. I know that's the reason, one of the reasons I was so drawn to you, because I said, she's an active listener. And I said that to you, I think, in our first meeting. I said, Shanae, you're an active listener as well. You do what I do.
I think we can always learn more. How do I increase my skills to better active listen? And maybe this is
So
for the newbie who doesn't think about active listening, because I know I didn't. When you told me, "Hey, you're an active listener," I was like, "Well, I'm listening."
I'm going to give you like three tips as far as being a more effective listener, right? And therefore a more effective communicator. So, one thing is be fully present. When you're listening to someone or when you're in the presence of someone, and set the intention. So that's important too. So if someone's coming to you because they are going through something and they really need someone to listen to them, understand that in that time frame you need to be fully present for that person, not get rid of the distractions. I'm talking about put the phone down, put it away, turn off the computer, make eye contact with that person. That's number two. So be fully present. One. Two, eye contact. Make sure that your body language is right. I know people say, like, what are you talking about? Your body language is right. I'm saying, like, don't look at the thing, your watch, and you go,
Don't
how much
cross your
time? Don't
arms.
cross the arms, don't roll the head, don't do the eyes, like, like, wait, like, okay, yeah, like, oh, that kind of thing. You have that during active listening, that is not allowed because you're not actively listening. You're
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
So those are the things. And then remember, active listening is for the other person. I know people don't like to hear that. It is really somewhat of a selfless act. And
sure.
that means that when your mind starts to go right, wander somewhere, and you start thinking about dinner, or what time am I going home, or like what am I going to wear tomorrow? No, 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 no. It happens. Listen, it happens to me. I'm very honest about that. But you bring that back. You bring your mind there. Again, stay right there for that speaker and listen to that speaker.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give an extra tip. And it goes along with this. So when a person tells you their thing, don't run off and start telling them your thing. Now, what I'm saying is this. It's okay to say, I understand. It's okay to give a similar example, but don't take over the conversation with your stuff.
Mm,
Don't.
mm, mm.
I'm just being honest. And that goes with this is a selfless act. It's not about you, it's about the other person. So if you don't have the time at that moment to give that person that kind of attention, be honest, right? Set that boundary, be
Mm.
honest and say, you know what? I don't have the time for this right now. But guess what? At 5 o'clock tonight, here's my phone number, or give me a call at 5 and let's talk. But do that because that allows for active listening to really take place.
I love that. This is a great conversation.
Thank you.
So, what's a word or phrase that everybody listening should take away from this to put active listening in their own lives? How do I keep active listening at the forefront of the way that I move in my business, in the world, with my friends, with my family, and with anybody that I encounter?
I read this in an article, and when I read this in an article, I thought it was brilliant, and it sums up active listening in one line: listen to understand, not respond. Boom.
That's it.
That's it. That's
That's it.
it. That's it. If you keep that in the forefront, you are doing active listening.
And you're building your business at the same
There you
time.
go. There you go. Exactly. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, how can I work with you?
If you go to my website, thethoughtfullistener.com, www.thoughtfullistener.com, I have a YouTube channel, The Thoughtful Listener. I'm on Threads, The Thoughtful Listener. Check it out. It's right there. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Stacy, you're a blessing, a dear, my favorite, everything in between. Thank you for telling all of us about active listening and really how it's not just in our business lives, but in our lives. Being
Lives.
being better as listeners only improves the rest of the world. So,
Yes. It truly does. And I hope I'm bringing that to the world and will be in the forefront of making change happen in a positive way for all
awesome.
of us.
Thank you for being
Thank
on
you.
the Idea to Empire podcast. Y'all, all of her links will be down below in the description. I'm Chanaye Jackson. This is the Idea to Empire podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.